the fuck you doing in my house? You really want these fucking ones right now, bro? Get out of my house.
Hey, open up.
Hey, yo! If anyone's breaking in, you're gonna regret it!
Hello! I'm time.
So I recently bought a house that had been abandoned since the 1990s. Teenagers used to party there, it was a repo, there was a hole in the roof, and the original owners had left a bunch of stuff, old family photos and all sorts of things. I tried to get in contact with them, they never wanted anything. I never checked the attic until recently, and this is what I found.
Ever been home alone and you see something in the corner of your eye, or you hear somebody call your name, or somebody's like in the back of the house, but you know you're home alone? When I would hear people talking about these things, I would almost always hear somebody trying to comfort them by saying it was a past loved one coming to check on them. They would be like, "Don't be scared, it's just grandma coming to check on you." So here's something that I was told, and you can take it or leave it, but if hearing something or seeing something when you're home alone puts fear in your heart, like it scares you, it is not a loved one. I was told that it wasn't good and you need to tell it to leave, because something that loves you would not scare you like that.
Cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring.
Isn't it crazy how she got shot in the foot? All of those people you just stated, besides Megan Thee Stallion, have been shot in either their chest or their fucking head. It's mostly impossible to survive a gunshot to the head, but in some cases it's possible. And most people that are shot in their chest die. And isn't it crazy how Megan Thee Stallion, all you guys are whining about she got shot in her fucking foot? 50 Cent and 21 Savage were shot like 8 to 9 times and survived. I'm not even saying women like this, but people like this get me mad because it makes,
This is why you should always check your back seat. A woman coming home from work decided to drive home. As she's driving, she notices a black car following behind her. In every red light she stops at, this black car will constantly flicker his lights. She began to panic and drove faster and faster, taking every turn she could to get away from this car. As she's driving, she calls her dad and tells her that this car is following her and to meet her in the driveway so she's not alone. She pulled into the driveway and sees her dad waiting outside. Then she sees the car that's been following her pull in right behind her. The man in the black car behind her gets out of his vehicle and runs to her and says, "Get out of your car now." She gets out and the man behind her says, "There is somebody trying to kill you." The man in the black car behind her pulls out a weapon. He shows the woman that there has been a man in her back seat, and every time he would flash his lights, it was because the man was about to stab her.
I asked Google what the most haunted places in my state are, and I came across the Covington Witch. So as usual, I hit up some of my friends and we went to go investigate. Legend says that a quiet, rather odd old lady had her house torn down due to the construction of a new bridge. As a result, she kidnapped several kids in her town and drowned them, now haunting the bridge and those who go under. We're gonna go under. Once we got there, we went through the actual bridge, but nothing seemed strange other than a strong sense of paranoia. Dude, just something about this place just like feels eerie. So we went down this little path that led to under the bridge, but my friend Reed felt too uncomfortable to go. Yo, bro, come on.
I'm good. Come on.
So this meant it was just me, Max, and my cameraman. After a few-minute walk, we made it to underneath the bridge, but again, nothing out of the ordinary happened. This definitely feels weird. If this blows up, we'll go to another haunted place.
The Scariest Things Police Have Seen, Part 37. This video, one of the creepiest I've ever seen, was sent to me by a police officer in South Carolina. He responded to a residence because of motion being picked up in an upstairs bedroom. He got there and the house was completely secure. The homeowner shows up, lets them inside. They don't find anyone in there, and nothing was disturbed. He pulls up video from an indoor surveillance camera, and this is what they see. Come to find out, the residence was previously owned by a family that had passed away from natural causes, except one small boy. There was never a death record for him, but he went missing after his 9th birthday.
If you or your family have one of these bumper stickers in your car right now, I suggest you go and rip it off. Now, if you don't already know, these beloved stickers are a red flag to pedophiles to know exactly who's in your family. In a case not too long ago, a mother was driving home from her soccer game with her 6-year-old daughter. They'd stopped in the service station to pour petrol, and as they did, a car quietly pulled in behind them. The man could quickly see that there was just a young mother and her daughter, and from the back of the van, she could tell there was no husband, 2 other kids and a dog. The cameras then catch her car leaving and heading out onto the road, followed quickly by the man in the car. The very next night, a family member found their house wide open. The family dog was laying dead in the hallway. It had been given some meat with poison in it. The mother was suddenly woken, but she had been asleep for more than 16 hours. Later discovered she was injected with the drug to put her to sleep, and her oldest daughter was missing, along with her 4 and 6-year-old daughters too. It's believed they were taken for human trafficking, so beware and remove those stickers.
This is part 3 of the silent twins by the names of June and Jennifer Gibbons. The girls finally broke their silence after their therapist got a call from a payphone that said, quote, "Good evening, Mr. Thomas. This is the twins. We are really sorry about what happened today. If you don't separate us, we'll start talking next week." End quote. So, they could talk. But when the twins got back to school, they acted like the phone call didn't happen. So they decided to send one of the twins away. When they told the twins one of them was going to be sent away, Jennifer screamed and lunged at June and dug her nails into June's cheek. They started attacking each other. They finally sent June away to a boarding school, and Jennifer stayed at the same school. At June's new school, she wouldn't talk. She started to refuse to move, eat, and drink. All she did was cry. The school couldn't continue force-feeding her, so they sent June back to be with Jennifer. Stay tuned for part 4. I'm posting it tonight.
Reacting to the scariest TikTok accounts, part 2. This account is unique because a lot of you messaged me on Instagram and you wanted me personally to react to it. My Instagram is Austin Vro if you guys ever want to send me another account. The account we're going to be looking at today is called user01726472771. It seems this account has racked over 200,000 followers with only 5 videos posted. And the views are just unheard of for a brand new account. This account isn't just a normal TikTok account. This entire account is supposed to represent an ARG. An ARG is an alternate reality game. I'll show you what I mean. Let's check out one of the videos.
Went to the hospital at 12 a.m. and they told me to stay in the car and realized that it's been 3 hours and there's nobody around me. I've also checked in the hospital and saw no one.
This person is saying that in this alternate reality there is nobody there and he's able to make these videos and upload them for us. But look at this. We can see there's a bunch of numbers and letters, which is a message. This is what it translated to. Like and follow for more videos. This is why you should always lock your door while you're driving. A man just got off work and was driving home. It was about 2 a.m. and he came across a red light. It was one of those red lights that sit for way too long. The man contemplated on running the red light, but he wanted to be a good Samaritan, so he said, "I'll just wait it out." And this is where the story takes a very dark turn. So a woman sitting at a bus stop sees the man's car stopped at the red light, so she walks over to his window. The man then gets very worried as the woman approaches his window, and she looks at him and she knocks on the glass. The woman then signals him to roll down the window just like that. The man then rolls down his window just enough to have a small conversation. The woman looks at him and says, "I've been beat by my husband, can you help me?" The man looks at the woman and notices that there's no bumps or bruises, so he's kind of eerie about this. The woman says again, "I've been beat by my husband, can you help me?" The man just starts staring at this woman in shock. The woman then says the same exact thing over and over again. So as this woman keeps asking over and over again, the light suddenly turns green. The man looks at the woman and says, "I can't help you." The woman smiled and said, "You just saved your life."
I'm mad. I'm super mad. Put your... Should I tell them? Should I tell them put the music lower? Should I just scream it? Hey, put your music lower! Yeah. Yeah, no, those guys are stupid. They deserved whoever said that. Really? Please don't bring up the Ender Dragon in front of me. Do you even know the sound it makes when it dies? You don't? Yeah, and please don't come at me. If you don't know the sound the Ender Dragon makes when it dies,
This is why when something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Once a newly married couple was searching for houses they could buy, and they came across a beautiful house with a suspiciously cheap price. They couldn't see anything wrong with the house, so they just thought they got lucky. They moved in quickly. But one day the husband was walking down the hallway when he found a red crayon on the floor. He thought maybe the previous residents had left it behind, so he just threw it out. The next day he found another red crayon lying in the exact same place. This time he asked his wife about it. His wife looked shocked. She confessed that every day since they've moved in, she's been finding red crayons in the hallway too. Then the husband tried to tap on the wall at the end of the hallway and heard a hollow sound. He began peeling off the wallpaper and found a sliding door behind it. It was as if someone had tried everything they could to keep anyone from finding this door. He tried to open it, but the door was nailed shut. Then he took a hammer and pried off the nails one by one. He opened the door to find a small room with words scribbled in red crayon all over the walls. It said, "Mommy, I'm sorry, let me out," over and over.